Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Las Vegas. Thank you for joining in this exciting session on unlocking IT transformation through the synergy of ITIL, DevOps, and AIOps. This is towards enhancing your monitoring and observability. My name is Jesus Cordoba, and I'm thrilled to be here with you today. If you have questions during this session, I am available on the chat. I will be able to answer them. And I would also like to invite to all of you, the attendees, to connect with me through the Nugget, through the platform. So today we embark in a journey that explores how these powerful forces work together to provide to your teams and executive unprecedented superpowers to be able to navigate the complex world of IT monitoring and observability. So let's take a look really quick to what we're going to be covering today. First, we're going to start with strategic alignment. If you had the opportunity of attending on previous versions of the Nugget, you know that I've been able to touch on the criticality of writing the strategy and aligning the business with the needs. We also have touched on practices that really give superpowers to your people. And I like to today develop an alignment in terms of ITIL framework, DevOps, and how the synergy of these different applications will allow us to close the gap that traditional IT processes have in such an agile methods. So it's all about the business impact. This is about the monitoring and observability and how it contributes towards your organization to be able to achieve the business objectives. Number three, we're going to be talking about operational excellence. In the technical world is really AIOps. And how about we revolutionize those operations and automations in a routine of tasks, enhancing incident management, problem management, and some other streamlining processes. And at the end, we're going to be talking about the roadmap ahead. We'll finish providing you insights in terms of building a strong team, especially that one that is looking towards the future of AI, some key concepts as well as how we dive into real world experiences in organizations, especially the ones that are looking to really reduce downtime and boost their bottom line. So, with this in mind, let's kick things off. We're going to go ahead and move on the strategic alignment. So, on the strategic alignment, I'm sure that everybody is familiarized with the phrase we need to be proactive, not reactive. And admittedly, reactive and proactive are different phases of maturity. It really begins with one question, and it's not really binary, it's not one or the other. It's really a process in which the organization has to really go over, right? Research of really large organizations with really recognized leaders have showed that it really is a journey between 3 to 5 years. And the really first phase is from reactive to responsive. As I mentioned, there are 5 phases, and we're going to be talking about a little bit in terms of what's the North Star and the phases in which we're trying to really automate a lot of IT operations. IT has evolved over the last 8 years, and it has always looking to accommodate the always-on digital services. Some of them are hybrid, some of them are microservices, other cloud, other on-premise, different concepts, DevOps, MLOps, SREs, but everything results in IT operations in terms of effectiveness, efficiency, especially where you have to become critical. The pandemic really accelerated these transformations and they shift toward remote work and really put a big spot on the IT operations. With that spotlight, it really comes the need with best-in-class observability, monitoring, and collaboration tools, especially when you integrate AI ops in terms of how scalable they are, how resilient they are in terms of workflows, and really the measure is through those KPIs, key performance indicators. Of course, this evolves within the teams of not DevOps, and even operations. Now, successful operations and really leaders realize that the excellence or even the greatness of areas are not by alone, and it doesn't actually protect against the frequent, long, and crippling incidents and outages. The model that I am about to share with you, it really serves as a good framework in conversations that help you to really understand the five phases of the IT maturity and the three dimensions in which you need to assess. Um, there are key KPIs that allow you and walk you through this process. Those KPIs really help you to understand the maturity of the organization and be able to actually build an operations roadmap. I highly recommend two key performance indicators. Typically starts with the operational workload and the service availability. Once you put those together, um, let's start by defining them. The operational workload, it's simply just the amount of effort that the organization spends on the IT operation environment. It really includes hours of detecting, classifying, assigning, diagnosing, and remediating incidents. Notably, this includes hours of spending in incidents that are actually non-actionable. So you have their noise versus truly incident that requires mitigation and remediation. Now, the way you can approach this is by calculating the incident volume that you have per month versus the operational workload. In this slide, you can see how the organizations can expect those KPIs to change across those five phases of the IT maturity process. Um, Within the service availability, this concept is defined as the percentage of uptime of any given service. Now, to achieve a higher level of maturity within the IT operations, multiple activities have to be done well and at the same time so that they can create synergies between each other. Monitoring and events processing are some of the inputs that inside the IT operations pipeline will be critical when defining those KPIs. As I mentioned, these dimensions will be two of those, and that will be signal to noise and relative to the volume and the incident that we have. The signal to noise ratio in ITOps compares to the number of events that are actionable, that really require something to be done to be able to mitigate or prevent some of our service degradation or outages. The number of events that are not actionable versus the events that are or could be safely ignored. Typically, organizations strive to improve the ratio of eliminating um, the noise, the one that is actually repetitive. The incident volume is a product of the signal to noise management, and that simply is just the number of incidents generated during a given month. If you noise is eliminated from monitoring when you upstream the incident process creation, because you go through a process in which you capture data. You are able to understand the insights, the volumes, what actually is classified inside your organization as noise versus what is not. So you can have a constant data that then allows you to understand the volume of everything that you are actually monitoring. And from that point, be able to have a baseline. Another key factor is the measurement of the mean time to detect, mean time to restore, and the mean time to investigate. And this is a super topic in terms of AI ops. AI ops is really artificial intelligence in a way that will allow us to understand and learn from the data in a really much faster way than be able to um, have a group of people that will be able to categorize and understand that faster and quickly. This is where AI ops really steps in, um, is be able to look at the entire data set of data and be able to understand the different signals and configurations that at this point you have teach. There are models that already come out of the box. There are others that really align directly with your business that can be created. Nevertheless, the incident priority, the actionability of those things, the noise, the ratio, all of these events at the end are metrics. And those metrics really need or define what really has been resolved, what really has required manual actions, and what really needs to be safely ignored. So, another key aspect of this is what data you are capturing, how you're classifying that data, how you're looking at that data. And this is exactly how that volume of data looks across organizations over those five phases that allows to really um, provide a view about the what is expected, how does the future looks like. Organizations generally use low priority numbers to be able to describe high impact, high urgency incidents, and high numbers to describe um, really what is the operations maturity to be able to improve the average of incident priority, decreases, and so on. Now, on data volume, it really what it really measures is the accuracy of the change in which you are ingesting that data, the change in terms of the events that are triggered by an action. Change events are so siloed within the teams executing the change because they use unique systems and processes that aren't accessible and understandable by the IT operations team. Now, some of these are in real time, some of them are operations awareness, some of them are simply change events. Users find these complicated to be able to understand and action or provide action, and that's where AIOps really comes in. That's where your technology really starts enabling and giving superpowers as a result of capturing some of these data, and especially accurately, because it really keeps evolving as the pipeline contributes in terms of alerts and elements that help you to have a process that is really mature. Now, we must recognize that not all the organizations are on the cloud, not everyone is hybrid. We have logs events and bring different things, but this is where AI really brings the potential to be able to tell us, hey, uh, as part of this model, I think this is about to happen or this could happen. So aligning these processes of ITIL with the DevOps team in terms of methodologies, it really helps on a few key items. That's accelerate development cycles, enhance collaboration and communications, and provide consistency and data quality in terms of how to facilitate quick resolution. Now let's move on at the world of operational excellence or AI ops, and it really gives meaning leverage models to understand what's happening. It's really at the top of the monitoring. And with operational excellence through AI ops, uh, is really where you will witness some of the magic in terms of automation and intelligence. It is really beyond be able to manage at the human scale the mean time to recover, the mean time to resolve, and it's really, most of the critical is the mean time to verify, and it's major correlations, right? This is where AI ops really becomes um, valuable in terms of seeing what's really happening. A lot of organizations really struggle to be able to understand just what is going on, and this is the power of AI ops to be able to help you to accelerate that process and streamline the operations. That's really it in a nutshell. Uh, Now there are different type of companies, right? MSPs and enterprise, and it's really broken in two. Some of them have data centers, and their goal is to avoid downtime, and some others are um, just service providers. And in terms of the data center, they're looking to repair and prevent issues that are happening, where machine learning is really improving in terms of anticipating and fixing some of the incidents that they are looking at it. Some other organizations are pointing towards power management. Um, and really how they can actually take advantage of it. Some of others are really looking at prediction, be able to understand our how actually all their events really tell a story. And really, the last one is you really require a group of people, and I think we had mentioned this in the past, where they also require time. Now, there are a few concepts I want to touch with you today in terms of AI. There's really a lot of misinformation out there, and artificial intelligence is not other than automating a task that is pretty much simulating the human behavior, right? That's really it. It really mimics the human behavior. Now, machine learning really learns from data, and this is from that particular task and is able to measure performance. Now, machine learning, it's all about numbers, mathematical models, and really just statistics. Deep learning, it's really more towards a subset of machine learning, and what it really does is trying to simulate neural networks. And what does that mean? This means things that you need to understand that are not numbers. That's exactly why they exist sentiment analysis. That's what some of the predictions they're trying to do in terms of what the future looks like is really not just numbers. That's really deep learning. And within generative AI, really you need to have a bridge to connect these two, deep learning and generative AI, because it's the combination of numbers and not numbers, sentiments. And in order to do that, really that door is called uh, language models. And that really is just a subset that contains and comes from existing ones. And there are different algorithms to be able to do that. So, with this in mind, I want to touch on really one key factor, and it's really important that you understand and anticipate the people that is part of your team. And a lot of these really, it's becoming a headway that is really complicated for a few people to understand. And really, the only way to get, and it's an invite to all of you, is to do not become just an AI user. As a leaders and within the field of technology, I think we have a bigger responsibility of getting involved. And that's just to be able to understand who's going to be part of our teams, what we're going to be doing with them, and especially about the set of skills that are shifting or they need to scale. And it's not about having the answers, it's actually about asking the right questions. So if you are getting involved in this, what you really need to start doing is just asking questions. And this is, I wanted to show with you what the future looks like. This is in a really nutshell how we're looking in terms of the team that we want to share with you, how we're putting a really domain experts in a group of people that really is about how we're looking at the problem and approaching the problem. And we're just asking a lot of questions. And that helps us to really understand first what is the outcome and the contributions we have to make before actually trying to apply the technology towards our organization. A lot of times we tend to try to apply the technology to try to resolve a problem rather than looking from the outcome first and understanding what do we really want to get out of this. All right. So with this, I'm reaching the conclusion of everything that we have covered today. There is a lot of sessions that really will continue to contribute in today's nugget. I really invite you to get your team and yourself in this transformation, not only about the technology. I like to really be available for your questions, so please feel free to reach out to me. And as well, I want to let you know that UnityTech is it has a mission, and that's to empower businesses from all sizes, all the industries to be able to upscale their IT operations. And the way we want to do that is through automating a lot of the routine tasks, improving customer experiences, and be able to optimize financial strategies. As it is for monitoring, the bottom line is the business. So we aim to keep our customers with knowledge and really be able to close that gap in rapidly evolving scape. We really believe that AI is not just a technology; it's a transformative force, and we believe that we can drive that through positive change across different industries and organizations. We're not doing extraordinary things. Let's be clear about that. But we are doing easy things extraordinarily well, and that's really development, reducing friction, and be able to close some of those gaps. So we would love to hear from you. Here is my contact information. I appreciate the Netrel team, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.